Fake! Fake grapefruits! Fake! Liar! You liar!
While that disclaimer clip is part of a comedy, it's more like a tragedy. What's happening here? You've seen the thumbnail to this video, right? Empty grocery stores. We all saw that, folks, to greater and lesser extent during the Cerveza bug stupidity when they locked people down. People ravaged the shelves of stores over a cold. Well, that's not good enough, folks. That's not good enough. They want starvation nation everywhere. Look at what they're doing. We were just shocked to surprise. Pow, right? Shocked to this. I can't believe Russia would drive into eastern Ukraine and help liberate those states. Now this is going to cause all kinds of disruption. And it did, and it has, and it continues, and it will persist. One of the first things to come up, though, was fertilizer. We're not going to be able to get fertilizer. We won't have crops out here, right? Not the way we're used to having. We won't have the yield as high. It'll be reduced yield crops, which means less food, which means more price increases. People are going to have less calories while they push bugs as a menu item and factory created fake meats. What the hell is that about? Have you ever noticed that when you don't get your food, you get kind of hangry? Or when you get food that's not very nutritious, you get a stomach ache? Or if you get food that's not very nutritious, you're just weak, you're tired. Have you noticed that when you're weak and tired, your brains aren't as sharp? You can't think as quick, can't remember stuff. You're just kind of slow and sluggish. Yeah, that's all part of the plan. Right? That's why they're not educating kids. It's the brain. They want them to be little skulls full of mush. But let's back up to food again. Let's back it up. After the fertilizer fiasco, and it's still ongoing, it's still persisting. And yeah, in the United States of America, folks, we have all the fertilizer we need. We have fertilizer manufacturing, fertilizer storage plants, fertilizer marketing, fertilizer creation, liquid fertilizer, dry fertilizer. We've got fertilizer, folks. We've got it. We've got the raw materials. We've got it. We've got petroleum products, which fertilizer comes from. And we've got potash, which fertilizer comes from. It's mined. We've got it, but it's going to be held back. See, this is where the ignorance that people have in general about farming, agriculture, food production, where it comes from and how it's done. This is where their ignorance is astounding and dangerous. Because they're like, oh, yeah, let's cut the farmers. Let's cut their nitrogen because it's a pollutant. No, it's not, folks. Fertilizer makes plants grow. All plants love nitrogen. All plants need nitrogen. So why are we saying nitrogen's a pollutant? It's just a bald-faced freaking lie. They started in the Netherlands, folks. The Netherlands. The Dutch were not happy. They instantly started protesting. And they, folks, have said, if you want civil war, you got it. Well, that's not the end of it, is it? No, Canada was next. Justin Trudeau, test tube Castro baby, tyrant of Canada. He has said, well, we're going to target farming, agriculture, and we're going to cut carbon and nitrogen and fertilizer. Yeah, we're going to do that in Canada. Canada is a huge producer of grains, food to feed the world. Huge, folks. That's a huge part of their economy. And they just want to cut it just like that. Folks, understand this is diabolical. And now Ireland, folks, is joining Canada and the Netherlands because they want to cut pollutant creation. I'm sorry to say that if we want to have humans on this planet, well, we're going to belch and fart and urinate, just like all the other animals. Except we're not animals, we're humans. And we are in, well, what you would think, control of our own destinies. You would think that we're in control of our own destiny. Yet here we are, being told, no, you don't get to live. No, wait, they're not saying they're going to kill us, are they? No, they're just going to cut all of the food production that they can. There is a climate crisis out there, which I cannot for the life of me see. I've been putting up and posting on YouTube. Jolene's been taking care of Facebook. We've got the Twitter accounts. We've got all the social media. We're doing a full-on social media blitz showing, right, a map from 10 years ago and a map from today with all the little temperature numbers on it. Only 10 years ago, they showed England or France as green with these numbers. Today, they're showing those maps red with the same numbers or even lower temperatures than just 10 years ago. And they're telling us it's hotter than ever. And then there are arson fires being lit, but it's to psychologically convince people that it's so hot, things are just spontaneously combusting. It's not how it works, folks. To get something as combustible, readily combustible as paper to burn, it has to be 450 degrees, 451. Things just don't catch on fire. It's not how it works. But they're letting us believe that because people are ignorant. They're starving us. And they're starting way up here. Food level, just fine. Everyone can eat. You need to eat bugs, more soy. You need chemical factory, food factory food. We need to cut nitrogen. We need to cut diesel. We need to stop farming so much. And they're slowly going to bring the food supply down. They're going to cause a dwindling food supply so people eat less. But look what we're already seeing in nations like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Libya, places like Canada, the Netherlands, Poland, Germany, Italy. It's not just a third world issue, this concern over energy, food, and our freedoms. It's not just third world like Sri Lanka, as we imagine it being third world. It's not. It's the whole world, all the way up to first world leaders in Europe. They're getting protests, massive protests, and rightly so. But they're going to continue to push, folks, and say, no, we're going to starve you. Guess what? Farmers, you can protest all day long. But if the petrochemical companies don't make your fertilizer, how are you going to get it? If the miners don't get their raw materials out of the ground, how are you going to protest? How are you going to get what you need to create the food, to support the farm, which is your livelihood? Literally, folks, farmers live to farm. It's in their blood. It's in their genes. They want to farm. That's what they do. They've got the land. It's been passed down for generations. They've got the equipment, very specialized to creating the foods that we need and like. And they're killing it all. They're crushing it all. Not the farmers, folks, the World Economic Forum, and their puppets in government. How far, folks, will we go before we protest and riot? Not very far. I think they're going to learn real fast that hungry people become very violent. Something I've known my whole life. But apparently these idiots in government think, oh, no, we can starve people. You can live up to a month without food if you're properly hydrated and very healthy and yada. Yeah, people will not make it a month. They get hungry after a few hours. They know who the problem is, folks. I do. The smart people do. It's the World Economic Forum, and it is their own governments. There's your targets. They need to fix this, folks. They need to reverse it. Our election coming up this year in the United States of America is absolutely critical. Do you want a nation of free people capable of determining their own destiny? Or do we want to be a starvation nation along with the rest of the world and go to hunger crisis mode? Voting is key. Voting is key in this. Are you going to vote for freedom and liberty, or are you going to allow these absolute scumbags to take control? Right? The question is going to come down to, what are we willing to tolerate? What's going on in this world? We're being run by a bunch of psychopathic lunatics. Are you prepared to deal with that? Because even if we win the election, they're not going to quit and go away and go, oh, I guess the people don't want this. They're going to double down, folks. They're going to buckle down hard and fight the whole way to get their new world order. Their, as Joe Biden called it, the liberal world order. I want to thank you for coming to subscribestar.com. I want to thank you for coming to thepreparedmind.club to join our premium service to help support the dissemination of real information. Folks, it's important that we get the real news out there, what they're doing, not the fake bullshit that comes out of CNN and ABC and Fox. No more fake bullshit. It's all real all the time. Chance favors the Prepared Mind. Go to thepreparedmind.club and get your supplies. It's right there. Get your supplies. Get stocked up. Get prepared. Semper Fi. God bless America.